Three, two, one. And we are here. Big Game James, Mike White, Burgers and Blitzes. We missed it last week because I was pouting. I didn't want to talk about them damn Cowboys last week. So that's why we didn't go live. But we are back and we are here again. My
Yes,
dog,
sir.
Mike White. What's up with you, dog?
Yes,
How you
sir.
doing?
Uh, all right. Pretty quick week, all things considered. Pretty quick
Yeah,
week.
Dallas got the
Yeah.
dub. Dallas got the dub.
It,
You feel me? Against them
was it worth
sorry
it?
ass Giants, but it is what it is. Lost a
I mean,
lot. Lost a lot in that game. Lost a lot in that playing that sorry team. Lost a lot in that game. But
there's nothing worse than that, man.
uh,
There's nothing worse than losing players to a bum ass team like that. They're freaking.
mm-hmm,
When they were the Redskins used to do it to us all the time. They'd be two
mm-hmm.
and 2-13, and you go and lose three players.
Just like
It's like,
that.
damn.
Um, so yeah, sorry, I'm upstairs today on the phony. So shout out to everybody in the building. Rev Rebel so far, Thurston, Icy, LaDonna, what's going on? Keep on coming in the building. I'm looking down at my other phone because I'm trying to look at your comments too. So if you see me just looking down, that's the reason
Yeah,
why. But but I mean, what's on your mind, Mike? We out of the Giants game. You're getting ready to go to Pittsburgh, but just we didn't get to talk. So let's just briefly just talk about that Giants game. Would you just what you feel about it and just the whole thing, the injuries? Just give me your whole whatever, and then we're gonna talk about this latest news and the Steelers game.
my biggest takeaway through the first, what I call the preseason September is the damn penalties, man. I mean, you had 11 penalties or should have been, it was 10 penalty, it was nine penalties, should have been 10 in the first half. But they got that
Mm-hmm.
face mask just so wrong that, unbelievably wrong. We were like, okay, I guess we'll take it. But it was a horribly officiated game on both sides of the ball. I mean, I'm not saying Dallas didn't earn their penalties, but that game was just, I mean, that was brutal. I mean, you had Al Michaels was ready to retire halfway through the
Mm-hmm.
damn game. Um, it's Thursday night football, dude. It's sloppy. It's sloppy. Go watch any game. Go watch tomorrow night's game. I don't know who's playing tomorrow night. Watch it. I bet the over under is probably 33 points because that's what it is. And then we travel on a short week, and then you go out there and you get all those penalties in the first half. But the Giants weren't no chumps when it came to running the ball. They were having success this season heading into that game. And they went out there and held them to 1 yard per carry. Shout out to Mazi. We start off with him. I'm trying to jog my memory because hell, that game was basically a week ago now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that he was probably the second best player on the defense, if not the first. I mean, he had a really good game, and I went back once I finally had the gumption to. I went back and I watched the second half of that Baltimore game, and Mozzie was the only one of the few, though, should I say, not the only one, but he was still out there in the fourth quarter fighting. Um, so I don't know if something clicked there, and is it transferred into the next game? To see him chain a couple games together. You know, chain a couple games together and stay healthy. So, um, what else? Cooks is Cooks is cooked. I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on there. I mean, I guess he's hurt, but and looked like the same guy from last year. And I don't know, man. We got it. It's 2024, and we have one wide receiver, and we still can't run the ball. So, and they're not doing anything about it. Apparently, they don't care. Jerry gets off his helicopter and says he doesn't have money, and then it's crazy. It's like
Isn't that?
used
Don't
to.
you think? I mean, he can do what he wants. He's the owner. He can do whatever the hell he wants. But
Yeah.
Don't you think it's just real kind of funny how y'all talk about y'all ain't got no money and you wait until next year and this and that, and then you just happen to fly your big ass helicopter right on the practice field? Like, I don't know, it's just something about that. And I'm gonna give the $5 holler shout out to my guy, um, Greg Westland, because he said, Jerry's the problem, pretty much. Um,
Yeah.
you know, what is your owner doing landing his helicopter on the field? Um, that's that's
That's
the
Jerry.
problem. But we know that. But that's Jerry. This is not a surprise.
It's
You know,
Jerry.
we know this is what Jerry does. You feel me? Um, but hey, to your point, with Mazi, might I agree with you. I think that this was his best game as a pro, in my opinion, by far. A total game. And just like you said, I agree with you. I thought him and Overshown were the two best players on the defense in that game against the Giants. But he really set the tone. I went and looked at the all 22 again yesterday, and he really set the tone in that game with stuff in that run, stuff in that middle, taking on the blocks. He was coming off the line of scrimmage fast. He was holding the point of attack. He was getting through. If it was a one-on-one, he was throwing that man off of him and getting in that backfield. And I mean, that's what you drafted him for, right? That's what it
Hmm.
was. So, and we know defensive tackles take 2 to 3 years. But my thing is, you know, I think he's a little bit different than some of those other guys that are like animals out there.
Well,
The jury's
he
still
was
out
he
with
was
me.
raw.
One game is good, but you got to stack. You know what I'm saying? So one
Yeah.
game is good. It is the Giants, but let me see you. You got these Steelers, you got these Lions, and the Lions is a damn good line, and you got the Niners who love to run the ball. Show me that you do it in them games, then we'll really feel a little bit better about that pick. Um, well, your boy coming from small college, Ryan. I'm not even gonna say it. I keep on Flournoy.
Flournoy.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Flournoy. I apologize, but he's finally going to get his chance. A lot of people have been asking for him. Um, Jalen Tolbert, I mean, he doesn't look bad, but
I
is he a reliable number two?
no, I don't. You're reliable. Your number two wide receiver is Ferguson.
Yeah,
That's
true.
period. Period. That's just what it is. And it sounds bad to say that as a tight end, but I mean, if you got a really
But
really
can
good
Jalen
one, I mean,
Tolbert, in your opinion, though, Mike, can Jalen Tolbert,
I
because he has shown
disagree.
progression this last year and a half, do, if they call, Dak might be starting to call his number. Do you think he'll be able to step up to the challenge and be able to make those plays?
I don't. Not the fence ride, but I don't want to say yes or no. I mean, we haven't seen it. We
We
think he
haven't seen
can.
it. True. Do you think
I
he
think he.
can?
I think he has the pop. I don't think he's a 12. He may pop off a 11 or 1,000 yard season or something like that just because it's 17 games and if somebody goes down, not this year, but like 2 or 3 years down the road, I just don't think he's going to be a 900,000 yard guy. You're looking at, give me 6 to 8,
Right.
or even give 5 to 8. Give me,
Right.
4 or 5 touchdowns. That's you hit on the pick. If Jalen Tolbert
Mm-hmm.
goes out there and gives you 5 to 8 and gives you 4 to 5, 4 to 6 touchdowns a year, that is a win on that pick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you just keep drafting them. You just keep drafting them. And then if you find a guy that's amazing, like CD Lamb falls into your lap and he ends up producing, then you pay him. But the rest of these guys, no, you don't pay number two receivers. You don't pay number three receivers. You just draft one every year and you keep churning them because that guy, Flournoy or when Tolbert was raw last year, you just keep year two's now year four's now year two's year four, and just keep churning them through there and using that surplus of talent to fill your comp picks so you can go play because you know how they load their comp picks. Somebody's going to pay
Mm-hmm.
that guy as long as you have a healthy quarterback. You have a healthy Dak Prescott. You're once again your number two, your number three wide receiver is going to get you know 600 yards and 4 or 6 touchdowns, and then some team down the way that's got money to burn, like Jacksonville has done for years. Like Yeah, I mean, he was a number two there. What if we just gave him more targets? I bet, what if we just gave him more targets? And then there he, boom, there, Laurent Robinson, Cedric Wilson, Cole Beat. You just keep going down the line and you keep turning these guys over. And that is where you can find an advantage when you have a high level quarterback in your system. Now, obviously, you
Mm-hmm.
need to be able to block for that, but now you can exploit that comp pick and make you a move in free agency or trade you for a player right now. Trade that 2020, that 25. I think they got three, maybe four fourth round
Mm-hmm.
picks coming, and
Mm-hmm.
comp picks coming this draft. Go get your
It's gonna be
player. I'm
it's
not.
gonna be a lot of picks this draft. This is gonna be like that 2021
This
draft where you had
draft
like 11 picks.
sucks. This draft sucks. So that is it's just going to keep getting worse. I've been talking about it with the NIL and the portal. You're not drafting. There's no culture anymore. You're not building players. They're building. You got to win. You got to win, and you got to win
Mm-hmm.
now. And if you don't compete or you don't want to compete, somebody wants to give you more money, you're gone. There's no Nick Saban. Hell, that's why Nick Saban tapped out. You don't have this culture of guys coming in, and these drafts are getting progressively worse. They really
Mm-hmm.
are. So when you're talking about burning even a second, especially since we stuck at the second round, I'm cool with that. I don't want you to necessarily burn the third because we're really good at drafting in the third, but I don't. It doesn't need to be one of these high profile moves. I'm not asking you to go get Tyreek Hill. I ask you to go
Mm-hmm.
get throw a 7 for Marvin Mims. Get him out of Denver.
Mm-hmm.
So Wanye don't have to return punts. Something like that.
Wanya need
And
to get on that field.
they stuck in special teams hell right now, and it's really really frustrating this week in particular with what they're just they're doing absolutely nothing.
Well,
I
let
mean,
me
I
let
get
me
they
let
got
me.
yes
I
sir.
didn't mean to cut you off, but I want you to answer this question. It's a $5 holler from the True 646. Fellas, love the real talk. We appreciate you. That's what I'm saying back to you. Uh, the True 646. I don't know if I can keep watching this 1970 offensive scheme for the Cowboys. LOL. It's sad watching our offense now. You, Mike, yourself have been
Hmm.
critical of Mike McCarthy. You say you love him 6 days, but that damn 7th day, you don't like him. Talk to me about this. What he just said. Does that correlate with still
Oh,
how you feel? What's up, David?
did you hear what McCarthy said today?
No, I didn't. I don't listen to none of that stuff. To be honest.
It was some quote. It was some quote about we like our practice squad players. Like, man, you know, when I talk about the calls coming from inside the house, this trickles all the way down to the media with what old girl was talking about today. And, I ain't gonna put her name out there. Everybody knows who the hell I'm talking about. All these water carriers and the coach McCarthy showed up. He's starting to talk about big play productivity. We're about moving the chains. We're about this, that, and the other. And not 18 months later, that dude, we're a running football team. We're a running football team, and and you hear it progressively. If you go back and listen to his interviews, because I actually have, because I'm a sicko. You listen to him this year. That is a broken man. That is an absolutely broken man. He knows he's sent up a creek, and there ain't a goddamn thing he can do about it. And when you're out there, you got a head coach who's got one wide receiver that he knows can kind of play if he decides to check in that day. And we're talking about we like our practice squad guys. If you like them, how come they've been inactive, homie? You know, it's just frustrating because
Because he don't have
who
control over that.
no matter who comes through here, no matter who comes through here, it's the same thing happens. We get a little bit of hope, dude. Go all the way back to Todd Haley. Hell, go all the way back. Go all the way back. And no matter what happens with this team, no matter who they bring in, within 3 years, it's back to the same thing. It's back to we're a run of football. We're a run ball control, Cowboys football, ball control, Cowboys football. And slowly but surely, that has trickled into the media. I know I'm kind of tying
But
this up.
how are we? But here's my thing. What you saying, Mike? Here, if I'm playing devil's advocate. What's up,
Yes, sir.
Action?
Yes, sir.
You saying that Mike is now saying we need to run the ball. We run the ball, but he's throwing 70% of the time in the air, and we don't see the carries. We saw the carries. I think somebody gave a stat where it was like the first game we had like 25 carries. Second game it was like 17. Next game it was 16. This last game it was like 22. So it's not like we
Well,
have been
yeah,
running
because
the ball. So if you're
you get down
saying that,
17.
why is he not doing it? Why is he not
You
running
get
Ezekiel Elliott? Then why is he not running down? Why is he not running the ball then?
you get down 17 points. You got to throw the ball.
We weren't down 17 in the Giants.
You couldn't. They tried. They couldn't. There's they
They,
try and they
I,
try and they try and they try, and then they finally go, "This ain't gonna work." Dak, do what you do.
well, here's my thing. If I watch, I mean, we watched the game. I saw
Hmm.
Dowdell. Now he had 9 carries for 45 yards. He looked kind of explosive, but he's a straight line runner. He's a straight line runner. He does not jump cut. He does not do anything. You just watch him. He's a straight line runner. That's why you get frustrated because he just runs straight to the hole and runs into his blockers, whatever, and just tackles or trips. But you know, they say I'm hearing the media that okay, obviously they're saying Dalvin Cook is washed because they are saying that all these other backs, including Deuce Vaughn, should get more carries than him. He's still not being active. They like who they like. So then how come Ezekiel Elliott is not getting the ball? How come they're not running it? And we're still throwing the ball? If you like your offense, but the offense is not running, you're almost damn near dead in the bottom half of the league and rushing yards, probably rushing attempts. I'm
They're hiding
confused here.
Zeke. They're hiding Zeke, and they don't want to. This almost, you know, what this reminds me of. And I'm not comparing the two players at all because they're totally different situations. Even though you can see what the kid's doing this year when he's actually healthy. When they were hiding Pollard and they refused to play, Dowdle would be a game day. You know, Pollard would be a game day scratch. They'd be hiding him because they had their boy out there and they don't want their boy to get embarrassed. This feels like the same sort of thing to me where they're going to activate Zeke. He'll get a couple carries in the first quarter. You need to keep him out there. Jerry wants to see Ezekiel. He wants to see his little Ezekiel out there. Because make no mistake, no other team would have brought that. That's neither here nor there. We know that situation. He's the adopted son. They want to see him out there. Now they go out there, they try to run. This ties back into the Giants where they had 10 penalties in the first half. I believe 4 of those were on early down runs. So even if you did get 4 or 6 yards, that run no longer tallies and the play's wiped off the board. So you got to go back and burn through the tape to actually see what the hell happened, or look at the penalty law. Um,
Mm-hmm. Because on his
and
good
then
runs, he
you,
had penalties, I think.
and so then you get to the second half, and you're like, dude, we've got 43 yards of total offense. I'm just pulling these numbers, I'm pulling these numbers out of my ass. I'm just talking
Right.
general. You get to the half, and we got 43 yards of total offense. We're getting 1 yard of carry. The only thing that's kind of working, CD Lamb and Dak, y'all go figure it out. Y'all go figure it out. And then we go hurry up. We come out, we go hurry up, and boom, 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 boom. And it's frustrating that they won't do that off the rip. And I know what they're once again Cowboys football. They're scared because they think if they go out there and hurry up off the rip and they get a 3 and out, or God forbid a turnover, the game's over. There's no recovering from it. There's no matter how many teams out there, Kansas City, even Carol, any team, typically good team, name them. Kansas City, Cincinnati, Josh Allen, any of them. They go out there on the opening drive and they have a turnover. They don't come out and run the first 3 downs on the next series. Dallas will, because oh shit, oh no, we had a turnover. We had a turnover. We got to get scary. We can't handle that. The Cowboys football. We got to get back on ball control. We got to get momentum. We got to get this going. And you intentionally neuter the only thing that you could do correct right now, which is pass the football. So now they're backing up on it. Well, then, okay, so let's try to run it one time. We got Dowdle up the left side for 12 yards, and there was a penalty. That penalty got called back, but there was a touchdown on that touchdown. That penalty got called back. It probably was a penalty. And this type of stuff happens over and over again where you can't, this team, you have no margin of error with Cowboys football. That one turnover was, how many weeks do we hear, or months or years have we heard at this point? They'll spend, hell, if it's a playoff game, they'll spend the next 6 months. But if it's that, we'll hear about that one pass or that one turnover for the entire damn week. If your offense can't survive one turnover or one bad pass, what the hell are we doing here? Now I understand if it's context of like, 58 seconds left on the clock and you throw it to a linebacker that you didn't see, made some awful Will Levis turnover. But when we're talking about missing one, like the wheel route on Zeke, where Zeke turned inside, he should have turned uphill. They're still talking about that pass. And you turn on any football game on any given Sunday, that play scores probably 4 or 5 times a weekend. That exact same play. But we want to talk about that one play because we have no room for error. Because we want to play this Cowboys ball control offense, which is fine when your line can block properly, your running back's not smacking into the back of your left guard, you're not getting a penalty every 3 plays, and it's because I believe that's what they averaged on offense do was a penalty every 3 plays in that first half. It was brutal. So tie it all back in together. The cough coming from inside the house is like this offense has looked the same since '94, not '89 if you want to be specific. How many coordinators have came through here? How many quarterbacks? How many wide receivers? How many offensive linemen? Hundreds, right? Between the coaches and players, and hundreds of different personnel, literally hundreds. There's one constant. The rest of my case.
Yeah, I mean, here's my question about the offense. When I look at it, when I just watch the offense play, and I ain't claiming to be an X and O guy. People be knowing all the wheel route and this, and this is what I'm just looking from my eyes. It's heavily relying on Dak, and CD. You pay them that money, and it's almost like you set them up. I feel like you set them up for failure because you pay both of them all that money, right? And it's almost like, remember we had already talked about this, Mike. When Dak gets all that money, they're gonna be like, okay, it's on you, dog. And remember we had this conversation before Dak got signed. We were like, we don't want him to sign because when he signs, everything's gonna be on him now. Oh, you're the $60 million man. Make it happen. Make it work. Don't matter if you ain't got this receiver.
He's already out there slapping the rev limiter every weekend.
You get what I'm saying? You feel me? And so now you signed the CD. So now they're like, okay, it's y'all two then. Y'all just got to make it happen. Y'all got paid all that money to make it happen. And it's like it's them two is nice, right? Yeah. But my question, we talked about Tolbert, right? We know it's out. Cooks is out. So we talked about Tolbert and we talked about Brooks, but we talked about Tolbert, but we haven't seen it. But we feel like it could, right? But we know what Ferguson can do. That running game is lacking because there's no. This was like even with CD Lamb, Mike. It's no explosion. I feel like that's an issue right there. Like I don't know if y'all see that in the chat. It just feels like it's no explosion on that team. Even CD as nice as he is, he's not an
He's
explosive
smooth.
like receiver.
He's
Like
smooth.
he's smooth. He
He's
catching
smooth.
underneath.
Yeah.
He run after the catch, but we don't have that guy that just once he catches it, he gone. I mean, I like
He'll
Turpin
pull
too.
your head
Maybe they
off.
need to, but we don't, and we don't have that running game where even with Pollard in his good days when he was first coming in, he had some. We don't have that. It gets bogged down, and so like you said, it has to be perfect when we get the ball on offense. We have to play perfect football on offense for us to feel like we got to score because it's not like, we can, it feels like we can get the ball at the 30-yard line and in 3 plays we score. It feels like it's always long and methodical. And sometimes I feel like you got Brandon Aubrey, y'all just sit there and say, well, we got Brandon Aubrey, and once we
No,
get
that
near that 40-yard line, we cool. You know what I'm saying?
that
Like,
is that is definitely that has 100%, 100%. Once again, Cowboys football. That is 100% bred more cowardice into Mike McCarthy. I'm not saying that that's even the Jones boys call. You hear him talk about it. Just you watch the minute they cross that 50, man. Let me get 2 runs. Let me get that off tackle. Let me get that. Let me get that. Let's try a little toss here. Try a little toss here. See if we can line the hashes up. And then you know what? That hey, let's hit that shallow cross on 3rd down. See if maybe Ferguson or somebody can turn uphill and get us a first. Otherwise, every single damn time, man. Hey, which is it's nice to have, but that should be your damn goal. That's like it's like I don't know, man. It's scary. It's cowardice is what it is. And you have once again you have CD and you have that, and you're talking about the Jones boys are already outwardly talking about it. They've been talking. Well, when you pay a guy that much money, he's got to go out
mm-hmm,
there and make the plays. Well, give him
mm-hmm.
a fucking chance, dude. Let him throw
Give
it
him
on
some
first
help.
down
Give
more than
him, give him more,
let me throw it on
and
first
give
down
him.
more than 30% of the time. You know, let's give me a little bit of motion. Give me something besides this static.
And last year we were talking and we were saying this was a pass first team. Damn, even when you got Pollard, this was a pass first team and let Dak
Mm-hmm.
cook it. When you were saying,
Lost your sound, Bubba. Uh, hey, I lost your sound. Check, 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 check. Got me? Oh, oh, damn. I was going somewhere with that too. Well, this ain't going to be depressing the entire way through. We'll end it on a good note because there's some positives to look forward here to Pittsburgh. I don't want to burn him in case he comes back. If he doesn't come back, I'll say it here. But that offense is absolutely, absolutely terrible. Um, if you can't, if you can't stop them, you can't stop anybody. Yeah, Catboys here. This always happens. We start hating on them, and all of a sudden, my house turns into a Faraday cage, or they go outside and they clip his damn off. They clip his out online. Oh, they get you. We bet. Stick and move.
here, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, yeah. They try, like he said, Catboy tried to get me.
Yeah, cut your damn internet off.
You know how it goes. But Yeah, dog. Like I said, it has to be perfect football. But beyond that, Mike, let's talk about these injuries on defense.
Well, that's you know, people that've been around here for a while know I hate Lisa Frank, and that's I believe that's Tank's fourth one. I believe he's got both feet twice now. This may
Mhm.
be the same foot three times. I don't have the numbers on. I don't exactly know, but he's 32. I hope.
That's a
I
bad
hope.
injury
I
for that
hope,
age.
dude. I hope we get him back. You know. I hope we get him back. Uh, but this is probably it this season at least. I just that's you want to be able to walk when you're 40. And for people that don't know, the damn Liz Frank injury is like so. This is your arch on your foot. Snap that. That's what he did. Every
Yeah.
bit of pressure, every bit of pressure. That damn. I don't have anything skinny enough here. Actually, I do. My bootlace. That's how skinny that bone is. That fifth metatarsal. That's what they call it. You can look it
Hmm.
up. It's called the fifth metatarsal. It's that skinny, and 100% of your body weight is pressing and flexing onto that bone when you're turning that corner. Um, I've talked about it for years with them skinny ass cleats. You know, my guy, shout out to Duke. He's working on those prototypes. They need to get them out there for they're making a wider cleat for the linemen, specifically
Hmm.
offensive linemen. But I don't know why defensive linemen couldn't, wouldn't wear them. Um, so that's, man, that's bad. That's bad, bad, bad. Um, he's not going to be back till at least Thanksgiving, and you're hoping you can get him back for that late season push. That would be that would be ideal.
Yeah,
And
because Jordan
Parsons,
Lewis just had it,
yeah, and
and he was
Jordan
saying
Lewis,
he said he felt like that it was on. He felt like he was in a dark place because he
yeah,
said that felt like it could have been a career-ending injury.
it definitely is. It ended AJ Green's career. It ended Julio Jones' career. I know it's a little bit of old head talk because if you look, the last time either one of them was catching the ball, it's 10 years ago. But they, with AJ Green and Julio, they both rushed back. We didn't know. It's like the cleat. What happened is the turf technology and the cleat technology and the training all combined faster than human evolution. Human evolution works on like 1,000 year scale. This technology all popped off in like a 5 year period with the
Hmm.
lighter and tighter cleats and the faster turf and the bigger and stronger athletes with the private training and all, the year in and year out stuff they do these days back when, you know, back when the Cowboys were in the Super Bowl, or not even that. See, like 99, 2000. These dudes weren't grinding like they are right now at all. They're vacation, hanging out with the kids and shit. These top profile dudes, the ones that are consistent year in and year out, they're working 330, 340 days a year. Serious, like that, like legitimately.
Hmm.
Whether it may not be physical, but they are, and it may only be 6 or 7 hours, 6 hours broken up throughout the day with film or whatnot, but they are legitimately grinding. And now you've got, it's yeah, AJ Green, Devo had it, and it took hell. Devo's still dealing with it. Those hamstring injuries and stuff is popping up. You're compensating. He's been struggling with injuries. I know he plays a physical game, but he had the same injury, and he came back in, I want to say, 10 games. I think at 10 weeks, I believe. But not. and basically nursed it the rest of the year, and then had soft tissue stuff, popping up ever since then. Um, that's a really, really scary injury. The Parsons one doesn't bother me at all. First of all, it's the first time he's ever been hurt. Knock on wood, you know. Um, high ankle sprain. They're thinking 2. I'm thinking 4. I would be safe, call it 4, because I just don't want to push it. To me, um, you know, I unless it's a division game, I don't just maybe they'll put him on a snap count or something like that, make him a third down player, try to work him back. I'm assuming Mark McCarthy will. That's the one thing he's good at is helping people out who don't want to work. I'm kidding, obviously, but Chicago Bears gonna take it on. What
It's my
take?
trolling. Well, answer this
No,
question from Casting Cowboys 817, and shout out to everybody in the building. We got about 103 in the chat right now. Appreciate everybody that's in the building. Thank you. Salutes. Shout out to everyone. Keep it coming. Hit that like button. Smash that like button. Share, share, share. I never even be saying
thank
that
y'all.
stuff, Mike. I got to do that more. But definitely appreciate
I
everybody
just
who's
been out
up.
here
Look,
yapping. Sorry, man. I've been sucking up all the
no,
oxygen I
hey,
can.
no, you cool. I'm chilling. I'm just bouncing off you, dog. You know how we do. But answer this question right quick. And give me your honest opinion, because sometimes you be like, I ain't coming back, and he'll come back. So, like, what's up with Deron Bland? I know he had the bad injury. Is he going to come back this season? A late season thing?
He was already limited in practice this week. He was working on the bands with Britt.
Mm.
Um, once again, same thing, same injury. I believe.
Well, he had a
Yeah,
fracture,
same
didn't
one.
he?
Yeah, but it's all the same. It's the arch. It's all
Right.
the same shit. Um,
Well, they said he was out 6 to 8 weeks. Do you think he comes back in those two
yeah, but
months?
think about when that was, Buff. That was early
That
in
was at the
August.
beginning of the season. Yeah, that was at the
Yeah,
beginning of the season.
I mean, think about where we're at. We're October, bud. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking, if I had to put money on it, smart. Like if I after the buy would be smart. Give him a full, give him a full, and then if he's feeling better, maybe work him in that, maybe work him in a few plays on that game right before the buy, and then let him chill. I would
Now they
assume
always
I
do
could.
say they
Yes,
always do say this, Mike, not to cut you off, but they always say if you're going to get injured, it's better to get injured at the beginning of the season than the end of the season. So you rather you have all these major injuries or these big injuries now, and those guys get healthy at the end of the year, so you can make a push. So that's the good thing I would say you could take out of that. Injuries early, better early than late. But if that's the case, can the Cowboys, as the team right now, hold it down until those other guys get back? But this defense that you said, they just picked up the guy, KJ, KJ Henry. You know,
yeah,
um, you know, we've seen Guyton struggles. I say probably run the ball a little bit more to kind of help him out, not sit there and get pass happy with him out there. But you got the Steelers, what we're going to talk about here in a sec. You got the Lions, who looked pretty good last couple of days ago, and then you got the Niners, who I don't care anybody saying Brock Purdy. He ain't been having all his guys. He's pretty. I don't care. He's pretty good. I ain't saying no franchise guy, but he's pretty good now. I think he's kind of let everybody know that even when he ain't got players, he can throw the ball. Like so, he's a threat now. He ain't got McCaffrey. He been out with some of his other guys, and they got beat a couple times, but I feel like he's good still. You got that 3 game stretch. How do you feel about that 3 game stretch and the Steelers coming up?
man. That Steelers offense is so putrid.
Yes, you said it.
You should be
21 points. I agreed it.
you should be able to not even play a defense and win by a field goal. I mean, they're bad. They're
Mhm.
they're bad. And I know Mike Tomlin magic. He's incapable of losing games, and nobody understands the Steelers. Definitely not me. I have no idea what kind of voodoo that man's got going on. But I mean, if you don't win this game, like you should win this game. And this is when you get your passing game going. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. Um, because you're going into Detroit and you're gonna have to win a shootout
Mm-hmm.
because their defense is terrible. Our defense is terrible.
Mm-hmm. Answer that question, Mike.
Um,
From Sighting Troops, 499. Holla, appreciate you.
yeah,
I'll be on the 30-30 offense. I'm gonna go ahead and say I was a guy that created that 30-30 out here in the streets. But go ahead and answer that quick question right quick. He says, I don't know if it's a question. He coming hard with it, but he says, first, appreciate you for the hollers right quick. I need to see that 30-30 offense this week. F the wide receiver position. We need to use some tight ends in the passing game off play action. Then Popeye Peach comes with a $5 holla. Appreciate you. Early reports said Dallas was interested in Adams Lake. What was report that they are not any truth to it at all and was already brought up. My bad was like, oh, you ain't got to worry about Dallas was never doing that anyway. And then Sighting Troops comes with a $10 holla. Appreciate you. He said, I saw Span 4 block Miles Garrett. Jordan, I can't give him no props right now, Span 4. But he does block, but give that man some receptions. I don't want to hear about the penalties. About penalties. Tover has about 2 every game, still keep getting chances. We ain't got no choice though, big dog. They got no
no.
choice, but he's going to be the guy. Tover's going to play, so we ain't got no choice. You're going to hear that, right? You're going to see that. But the Span
Hey, I'd,
4
lo-
kid, I'm
I'd
sorry.
love to go
I
throw
don't,
me a
I don't
Marvin Mims out there and see if he can get some burn. I'd love to go throw a Jalen Waddle out there see if he gets some burn. But we ain't got it. You can't. You can only run what you bring.
hmm I mean, I don't know. I just like you
Yeah,
with this game. This with this Steelers game, Mike. It's like I so agree with you. It just feels like y'all should beat them, even with
yeah.
the team that we have, Dallas right now. You should beat them, even though I think Mike Thomas is a better coach than Mike McCarthy. You
Well,
still
yeah.
should beat them because they're just like you said that offense. And yes, Fields threw for like 365, brought them back, but you're not scared of Justin Fields throwing the ball. You're
No.
not.
And they're
Um, you,
Alex Highsmith, their most consistent defensive player, is not even in. He's out.
hmm hmm
And I know I'm a notified TJ Watt hater, but Highsmith is their most consistent player. You go watch the Steelers
Yeah.
game, down in and down out. That is their most consistent player.
Oh, I know all about him. They from like UNC Charlotte, something like that. Because I remember when I watched him at the combine. Actually, my girl liked him. She said, "I think he's gonna be a good player." So once my
He's
girl
just
said it, we were at the combine.
he's just
I was
really
like, "Wow,
solid. He, he he's
and
he's
he's
like
good."
he's like a wish version of Max Crosby. He plays the run well. He can get sacks. He's just a really solid player.
That Wilson kid's been kind of quiet this year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, they don't have any DTs, and
hmm
they can't cover. So it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
Time for
I
Ferguson and Dak.
definitely,
Time for Ferg, Dak, and Lamb to go get it, man.
yeah, this should be a big
You
game.
got to
And
put them.
I think you got to go to Tobert a little bit too, Mike. I think you got to get him because
That's
because
fine.
he's
I
yeah,
don't
you
care
feel
who the
me?
ball goes to. I don't.
Right.
I don't.
But he got to get the ball in this game because I think a lot of people are like, okay, Cooks is out October. This is your time to really show us. This is your time. It's third year. There's no more excuses. And Dak, y'all need to, I mean, you need to get open. You need to make plays, Hobart. And you need to make it, you need to become that number two. You need to become a reliable threat right now. They drafted you in the third round. This is your third year. You need to make it happen, in my opinion. Like, you need to make it happen now. Um,
If you're
I
open,
don't know.
Dak will get you. Even if you're not open, go off the separation stats. Even if you're not open, Dak's gonna get you the damn ball. Catch it,
hmm
catch it. I
And
mean,
like Willie says, we need to go high tempo offense off the rip. Go attack these guys off the rip.
that ties back to what? Oh no, what if we get a turnover? You know what you do? You come back and you go high tempo again. I'm not asking you to go Chip Kelly all game. I don't want to play every 4 seconds, but those first two series, you go put Justin Fields behind the sticks, and that's how your mediocre pass rush now your coverage can take over because you still got Trayvon Diggs, and you need to be playing. You need to be playing, my boy. You need to be playing him. This Cedric Wilson experiment's over. I'm dope. I'm over it. It's over. It's over. So
You said set. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Donovan Wilson. Sorry. You know,
They remember they
I,
cut my boy and kept him. Could have traded him.
I and
Why
then
doesn't
they
Wanye?
did.
Why doesn't Wanye Thomas get no burn?
Dude, I don't know. I do not know. I you know, there's a lot of coaching. Ollie, get down, dude. Um, there's a lot of coaching decisions, especially when it comes to personnel with this team that don't make any sense to me. You know, um, at least Mike Zimmer seems to have a little bit of a head on him, but it seems like Al Harris has got an affinity for Dono for some reason, and I'm not entirely sure why. Because you go watch every busted play on the backside of this defense, and he's been a part of a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he benched Andrew Booth, which was a good decision. So it's like, are you? I don't know what you're seeing, and that's part of those things. It's also part of one of those things. It's like you don't know what his assignment was and stuff, but when you see Donovan escorting Kamara 58 yards down the sideline to the end zone, I was like, doesn't really matter what your assignment was, boy. Make a tackle. I mean, you're right beside him. You know what I mean.
But we talked about this, Mike. The money plays the field, and it's I think somebody said in the comments too. We know this. The money plays on the field.
Oh, Hooker's
Donovan
been terrible.
Wilson is your guy that you signed. Malik Hooker is the guys that you re-signed for that money. So if y'all re-signed them for that money, you got Wanye Thomas, who is still undrafted undrafted free agent.
Hmm.
He's cheaper. The money is going to play on the field. And is that what we feel that that's where the call comes from the house because you paid
Yeah.
them two guys, the other two guys ain't getting paid, and Zimmer. Do we think Zimmer may want to play Wanye more, but he ain't, but he can't because the Joneses are like, they're Donovan Wilson because we hear before Mike says it, oh blah 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 is going to be starting this week, or blah blah blah. Your old 82
Hmm.
year old to be general manager comes out in the media during the week and says who's going to play, not your coach, your general manager, 82-year-old. I'm gonna keep saying the age. 82-year-old general manager is telling, oh, he's starting this week, or oh no, he's going to go ahead and play, and your coach ain't said nothing about it. That's the
I
issue
wish
as well.
I wish McCarthy, because he knows he's done. Yeah, like, he's done after this year. Let's be honest. This team isn't making it to the Super Bowl, much less
Oh
winning
yeah,
one. So
he's
he's
not.
gonna
He's
get.
done. He's gone. He's
He's
gone.
done.
They're not.
So
He's done.
I wish that he would start fighting
Well,
fire
he
with
just play
fire.
crazy.
Yeah, just hey,
Do
so
what you want.
why you even asking me these questions? Why you already asked the GM? You already asked the GM. Why you even asking me?
Yeah,
I don't know.
be flossy. Your job is
Just
over.
call
You're not. You're not getting renewed.
throw fire bombs, man. Just like the room on fire. If they want to undermine you and shit on your last year, you fight fire with fire. Like I don't know. Hey, Devontae Adams, yeah, I'd like to have him. Why don't you go find Catboy on the golf course and see if he even knows who he is? You know, like this bitch up. Go out like that because McCarthy's done coaching. He and I don't mean that in a negative way whatsoever. I mean the man's 70 years old. Do you think he's going somewhere else?
Well, he's like 60 something, but you know what McCarthy is? It's kind of like when we talked about the players after you see him like 3 or 4 years, and you're like, well, maybe he could do it. Maybe with a different coach, this is what he is, and that's what McCarthy is now. He's a good coach. He can get some talent, and he's gonna win games. If you get him some talent, he's gonna win games. But he ain't taking to that next level anymore because these other guys that are coming up in the NFL are just better than him. They're young, they're more innovative. He's a kind of old school now, in my opinion. But you still
Yeah,
like him because he's a good coach to the players. The players will like him. So you said he's
and
great
it's
doing
comfortable.
health, and it's comfortable. Like that's it's comfortable. but it's not going to take you over the top. That's what he was brought in for. But the more you saw him, you're like, no, he's not the guy. He's just a guy that's going to win games because he got talent. But when he comes against them doggish teams and them dog coaches, he nuts up, and that's just what he is now.
Did
He ain't that.
that
He ain't the guy. He's not
he's
the guy.
never. That's what
He's not
I've
taking
always
Dallas
called him.
over.
6 days a week. You know, that guy's never been a positive difference on game day. Not one time in this tenure. Um, you watch he's constant when he burns a minute and a half and leaves two timeouts on the clock in the end of the first half. You could have went and got 3 points. You could have went. You'd love to kick a field goal. Why don't you let Dak throw the ball a couple times so you can go get 3 points? No, you run the clock out. Leave those timeouts on the board. Man, we're talking about a minute and a half, two timeouts. Minute and a half, two timeouts. I've seen that flip a game 14 points. Now that's a one-off scenario, wild scenario, but minute and a half, two timeouts, man, that's what are we doing?
Answer that question for me, Mike. We got a $10 holla from Alec Ventura. Says, hey guys, why'd they go out and hire the analytic guys? Hart is highly regarded in the league
Oh,
and made a lateral move to come here. I can't imagine they go out and pay for him to
because
ignore.
Catboy's drinking buddy from college is over his head with working out contracts, and they needed to get stuff done more efficiently. The Flair police, what the hell? Adam Paprika was
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why do they have Will McClay if Mike McCarthy's going to get to pick Schoonmaker in the second round? Why do they have Will McClay if Marinelli's going to get Tristan Hill in the second round? It's you can't not hire the guys because any bit they could help would help, but at the end of the day, they're still working under the Jones boys. It's like trying to show, a 90-year-old man how the internet works, and he just woke up from a coma. I just, you can hear the way they talk. They're so disconnected from reality. Even Catboy, and he's younger. The way they talk in the microphone, it's like they're talking to people who live under a rock and don't have the internet and just woke up from a 60-year hibernation. And they thought we spent the most money. No, you haven't. A 12-second Google shows you're the 30th cash spending team in the league over the last 5 years. It's like it's to the point I don't even believe that they believe what they're saying, but they're so far dug in that their pride. I mean, because you could go get Amari Cooper right now for a fourth. Right now, you could.
You probably could. I
I
mean,
guarantee. I know for a fact you could. I know for a fact. I can show you the text if you want.
no, I believe you could. It's just I was a hater last today because I wasn't, but he's better than who we got. So
I'm not
I'll
even a
be,
fan. I'm not even a
yeah, I
fan of
know
his,
you
but
ain't,
for a fourth
but
round pick, you
it's
go
just
get 1,000-yard wide receiver.
right.
For I think he's making like it costs you like 1.2 on your cap because the way they
Hmm.
restructured his deal, dude, bro, come on. I mean,
And they
I,
don't want to bring him back because of the last experience. They
I'd
gonna
give
do
you a
it.
fourth round pick for Cole Beasley right now. Like that's how late of a pick we're talking about here, and that would just mean no, they're gonna because you already tell Jerry got testy. And the media said we don't have a running back. And, well, you don't.
Hmm.
You don't. So if you go and trade a forward for Amari Cooper, oh man, that's just I could swallow that pride because I like winning more than I like being right.
Hmm.
I don't mind being wrong. I've been wrong a bunch of
Hmm.
times. Hell, I'm wrong about Derrick Henry. We can talk about that. That's incredible. What he's doing is incredible.
And,
But
and Lamar Jackson been throwing that ball pretty good too. So I can sit there and say, hey, Lamar Jackson been turning it up. I'm gonna be quiet. He been throwing it all. He look. Hey, he tore up that Buffalo. He looking
hey,
all right. He's
Yeah,
looking good. I
I
can't.
told you though.
Lamar
Wait
Jackson
till
looks
that game
good.
got to the fourth quarter. They have a problem closing out games. They do.
Yes, they
They have a
do.
problem
They
closing
do.
out games.
That's. But he's pretty nice though.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
Coop will come. Coop will come back here.
Oh yeah, Coop just likes it.
Yeah.
As much as Coop likes playing football, he hates football. Like it's a crazy.
Yep.
It
I totally agree. I totally agree with that assessment because it's like he like it, but he's like, I ain't tripping on no football. You know
but
what I'm
man,
saying? Like, but you know when he's dialed in though, like he plays the game.
that
But
man
I
can
don't know if
walk
he
away
died.
from football
He's
tonight and forget
easily.
about it by Friday.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't trip.
He'd be in
He
a
got too
bowling
many
league
other
or
things
something.
going on. Yeah, he got too many other things that he do besides football. Football ain't his main thing in life. But you could tell that from the rip when he came in the league. Kind of tell this by his attitude, and I think that's why he's always
That's
soured
my
on
nick.
people.
That's
You know what I
well
mean?
because it ties back. There's a little bit of toxic masculinity in that, but that's the nature of the business. When you got these football lifers like Saban and Harbaugh and those guys like that, they could smell quit. They could smell that quit on you. They could smell that. Jip, like especially John, because he's a fucking maniac. John Harbaugh, if you told him he could win 3 Super Bowls in a row and you cut his head off with a guillotine, he would let you do it. That's how much it means to him. And they expect that type of buy-in from their guys, you know. And with Amari, it's like even Saban said it. It's like all that stuff was Amari. Does Amari love football? It's like, yeah, he does. But like I said, he also could walk away today and forget about it by Friday.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
they could smell that on you. They smell that on you from a mile away. You don't got to be a diva. You don't got to be on the sideline throwing a fit. You don't got to be Odell Beckham. You don't got to, but that complacency and that, I'll go read a book. It'll be all right. No big deal. It's just a
Hmm.
game.
Hmm.
Which that's a healthy mindset, right? I don't want it on my team.
Hmm. Right. Because we saw it, and it's just the
Yeah,
truth,
yeah.
and that's what
In
I
that
was
Jets
saying in
game,
my tweet. I was like, okay, you know what? Everybody like, well, not everybody. People are like, go back and get a Mark Cooper, and I'm like, I'm cool on Cooper, but I understand. I feel what you're saying though, Mike. That he's get go out there and still make some attempts to do something to help your team.
do
But
something.
if we looking at Amari
Something.
Cooper, no, he ain't that guy no more to me. He dropping passes, and I totally agree with the assessment. Like it just feels like,
Well, that team's
he's
quitting.
easily, and if he don't get the ball when he want, he just he mopes, and I don't want that. I don't want that anymore. He mopes too much for me. He gets
I,
like a daisical. He just walks off the field, and like you said, that ain't a bad attitude in life. But when you're playing football, no, you can't be doing that.
That is, everybody wants to talk about the jab. And I've talked about this time and time and time again. So I'm going to bring it back up for the people who had been in the lives. That is what got him ran out of town. When everybody was on my ass, when I talked about in November, I said CD Lamb better have the game winning catch. I'm sorry, Amari Cooper better have this game winning catch in the Super Bowl to have a snowball's chance in hell being back in Dallas because it wasn't the jab. It was his lackadaisical attitude about that whole situation. And then he goes and takes CeeDee Lamb with him when he got not suspended, but the COVID, you had to sit out 2 games. He took CeeDee Lamb with him to the court side of the Mavs game. And then CeeDee Lamb ended up missing a game because of that. That's what did it. Because he doesn't, well, once again, football's not on his list. Like, that's the type
And
of
he
dude
gonna
that
do what he want.
he's gonna do what he wants. Michael Irvin would beat the hell out of that dude in the locker room. But there's also the other stuff that comes along with Michael Irvin too. So there's somewhere in the middle would be ideal, right? Like a Keenan Allen or something like that. But he just couldn't stay healthy. Steve Smith, something like that. But those are once in a lifetime type of guys. Even Devontae Adams, they're talking about the Devontae trade. Devontae's 31 years old and has a bad hamstring right now.
Does he have a bad
So
hamstring?
yeah, That's what the word is. Now I haven't. I could back channel it if you want me to, but I just kind of took somebody's word on that. It could be a hamstring, but he hadn't been looking right. So, yeah, that's a Cooper thing, man. I would love it.
It's just the same old thing, dog. You know it, and I know it. It's just the same old thing. Things are getting glossed up. We just talked about it. It's lame duck season, in my opinion. Sorry, y'all. I ain't saying that
This
anything can
here's
happen.
what
I
I
don't
wish
know.
they would do. Here's what,
It's
in
lame
my
duck.
heart of
He
hearts,
ain't gonna be back. It's lame duck.
in my heart of hearts, as a football fan, I'm a Cowboy fan loosely, right? You know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Shut it, shut it down, shut it down. Go get your Trey Lance reps. Go get your Trey Lance reps. I am not scared. You got your quarterback and your wide receiver and your left guard and your right tackle and your other left tackle for the next 5 years, right? You have them locked up. Boom, no problem. Well, you're gonna have to pay Tyler Smith, but we know that's happening. That's $20 million done. They already have that in the books. What's 1 year? What is 1 year? We already wasted 29, 30 of them doing bullshit. Come out firing in the top of this draft with a top 15 pick and then trade back. Trade all that back and load up, come get you some cheap talent. That's what I would do. And that
Man,
is
I
me
ain't.
having full confidence that I think this team could easily make the wild card round, if not the NFC Championship game, because the NFC's kind of ass. I ain't worried about no Washington. They got 32nd ranked defense. That team is heading all the way to the scene of the crash. Philadelphia is going to fire their head coach by Halloween. Christian McCaffrey's got two broken legs. Like, we think the Seahawks are going to maintain what they're doing. No, we've seen that. Geno Smith starts off and then
Right. When you say all those things, which are so true, they'll still play Dallas and win. That's the funny part. We can say this for the last 3 years. Dallas had a chance to win the whole NFC because the NFC is not top heavy. Don't have no teams that can really do this and do that. Dallas can beat all these teams. We kept on saying that for the last 3 years, and Dallas finds a way to always lose those. So that's why I'm just saying, yeah, you can make the playoffs. Yeah, you can make the wild card, but you're not going to do anything. Not in my opinion. If you do something, okay, so what? You did something
no, because
great. I
it'll
don't
be the
believe
same
it.
thing as
And
always. You're going to run
it's
up against a team. You're going to run up against a team that has 10 stars. You have 3 stars,
mhm.
and
And they're gonna whip your ass.
then they're going to whoop your ass. And or you're going to catch a team that's absolutely got their head on fire, like I talked about coming into that Green Bay game. They're going
Hmm.
to empty every fucking round they have to win that game. They're not worried about next week. We're getting to this game is already we've already made it, right? We've already made it getting to this game. Let's go win this game. And then they went out the next week, got their ass whipped. Bad, absolutely bad. Because
Ooh, Freddie V. I don't think so. Not from my perspective.
uh,
Will I ever see a Super Bowl dub with my own eyes? I don't know.
if they,
I don't know, dog.
I mean, maybe if they
A
kept
lot of
Fat Boy
things
on
got to
that
happen.
Epstein list,
Yeah, a lot of things got to happen. I like real crazy things got to happen for that. I'm sorry. I just don't see Jerry Jones. I've been saying it for the last 4 or 5 years. I don't see him hosting up another trophy as much as I don't know the future. I can't see the future. When Mike, and you know it, you've been a fan for a long time. You know when you felt it. It ain't just about a feel. It's about you looking at the team, and in them '90s. And I hate to go back that far, but when he took over the team, you was like, okay, yeah, this everybody's young, energetic. It's not that no more. It's
they have a
it's
they have
almost
a
like when we
young
when
board, but they have a coach that comes in every morning and he knows he's already 15 foot out on the plank, and it's just like, hey guys, I mean, your core is young as shit. We
yeah,
talked
you got
about
to.
it.
I think it's like one of the youngest teams in the league. If
So,
the core
one,
is,
and one of your oldest players is your quarterback, which is
man, he's
fine
only
because he's
30.
30. Yeah, it's fine. Um, Man, I don't know.
I'm
You're
sorry.
talking
I'm
to
sorry.
a guy. You're talking to a guy who wanted to hire Ben Johnson. You're talking, and time and time again, I see these decisions that they could make, and they don't do them. They do something opposite, and then it doesn't work. And I'm like, the decision I wanted to make works, and it's they want to draft and develop, and that's fine. But when you got teams like Kansas City who draft better than you, and they also use free agency, and they have one of the best quarterbacks, actually the best quarterback in the history of the NFL. So they're doing
And coach, got a damn good
and
coach.
so they're doing four different things better than you are. What chance do you have? Do I mean what? Dak gonna have to go out there and throw for 780 yards and 9 touchdowns in the damn Super Bowl to win the game?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
mean, Mahomes would probably have 785 for 10. It's like,
Facts.
and we talk about how Dak lost the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
it's there's absolutely no margin for error in this Cowboys football. And when you don't have the players that can compensate for that, I don't know what you expect. So that's why I was like, I don't I don't get upset anymore. I've talked about this. I don't care more about the team than the ownership does. I don't let them fuck up my day anymore. I don't. They don't ruin the first half of my week. If the game's over in the second quarter, I'll flip on red zone or something. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yep.
not gonna I'm not gonna care more than they do. But I'll talk about it because I get the receipts out there of what could have been different had you remotely tried, just remotely. I'm not asking you to go full Rams. You know what I mean? I'm not asking you to go full Rams. I'm asking you just give, you know,
I
go
love
get a
what
Zach
Freddie V
Moss.
just said. I love what Freddie V said. He said, "I'm about to boot up Madden and win one my damn self." That's the best way
Hell
to
yeah.
do it. Just win it because then you can be the real general manager. And you can do it how you want to do it, and then you probably see your team be a lot more successful. You feel me? But we know what this
Hmm.
is, Mike. We getting ready for this Pittsburgh game. Get our head off of here, dog. So we already both feel like they can beat Pittsburgh. Will they? I don't know. They definitely should, but I don't know if they are because I just the last statement that you said before we get off here is I just 100% agree. I'm not dialed in like I used to be, and I don't. If you don't like that, that's you. Do you have your own Cowboy fandom? But I've been locked in for so long, and then I just see what this team is doing. It's like I'm sorry, I'm not going to be getting hyped for these
I
team when
don't
I know it's
support
not
my
going
own
nowhere.
family that much. So,
Yeah, I'm cool.
um,
They don't care. They don't
yeah.
care like that. So why should I be overly caring and defending the
And then
team on Twitter and going crazy? And these dudes don't even give a hell. So I'm not doing
if
that. Not no more.
if they go out
Cool.
there and lose to Pittsburgh, it'll be, according to the NFL, it'll be the most hilarious thing ever. But meanwhile, Pittsburgh beats a team every week they shouldn't beat. It's just because that's what they do. I mean, they make the damn play. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season for some god awful reason, and he hadn't had a quarterback for 15 years. So it's going to be a great game. That said, give me Dallas by 10. Because
I can't even get no prediction because I can't trust a win by 10.
well,
Is it in Pittsburgh?
let me say, let me say this: Dallas will be up by 10. The defense will make it a sweaty, like missed field goal to end it.
Is it
I
at
just, I
Pittsburgh?
don't. Yeah, it's at Pittsburgh.
And it's night game.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, we're gonna see. Like I said, Dallas should
Hey,
win, but
prime time
I
Dak's the opposite
we'll
of
see.
prime time Cousins.
Hmm.
So anyway, Bubba, I think I'm about to get off here and get some. I got a little bit of leftover tri-tip. I'm gonna make some tacos with. I'm looking forward to that. So I
Yeah,
do
I was
appreciate
thinking about
everybody.
I should have. Yeah, I appreciate everybody too. I thought I grabbed some food and I walked past this taco place, Del Taco out here. I should have got them. It was like these two tacos fried. I should have got them. I didn't do it, and I should have did it, but I
I
feel you,
used to fuck
dog.
with Del Taco heavy when I was out on the West Coast riding moto all the time, man. We used to tell Del Taco up. They came out here to Texas and they couldn't stay open because we got all the taquerias.
Yeah, I know that they can't mess with them out there. You feel me? But out here, it can bang because they ain't got them like that. But they do got some little side little trucks that we go to when we get these tacos. They be straight bangers, and they need to stay away from them other spots because they'll make them go out of business for real. Because that's that real stuff. So, but appreciate you, my dog. We definitely going to talk again next week. We'll see what happens. You know, Cowboys win. Mike says by 10. I said, I don't know. They should, but I don't know. Can't trust it. So we'll talk to you soon. Burgers and
who
Blitzes.
plays?
My dog Mike
Who
White.
plays tomorrow
What?
night? Who plays tomorrow
I
night?
don't even know. Mm,
Falcons. Oh, Falcons and Bucks. Oh my God.
I ain't watching that game. I'll
No,
just watch bits and
I'm gonna
pieces.
clean the house and I'm gonna clean the house and go mow the yard. All right,
Yeah, that's gonna be a boring ass game. I don't want to watch that game.
all right. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Love you, brother.
All right,
Peace.
love you, dog. Talk to you. Peace. We out of here.